Alright guys, welcome to Alright guys, welcome to our first tutorial on how to do specific exercises. Our first tutorial on how to do the push-up today. It is one of the most used upper body strength exercises. Unfortunately, it can be done wrong in many different ways. We're going to cover all of them today. We're going to show you how to scale it, how to make it harder, and just make sure that everyone can do them and enjoy this great exercise. Laura here is going to show you guys the right way to do a traditional push-up. She's going to get low on all four, both hands in the ground, both feet touching. She's going to make sure that her midline is tight, and before she starts moving her arms, she's going to engage her core, and she's going to make sure that her bum is squeezed. From here, she's going to lower herself down, touch the ground with the chest, push herself all the way up to make sure that the elbows are extended and that we're not collapsing in any way. Go ahead and give us 5 reps. All the way down, touch the ground, extend your elbows up and down, keeping the midline engaged. There we go. The push-up. We're gonna go over some typical mistakes that we see people do all the time when doing the push-up. First off, we're gonna show what we call the worm. There's absolutely no midline stabilization going on here. She's gonna lower her chest into the ground, the hips are touching, she's extending, the midline is completely relaxed. We're gonna move on to the next one, which is, we can call it the partial worm. People think about midline stabilization, but they break it as they go down. So go ahead, Dora's gonna lower down. She worms it up and hips come up after. Do 5 reps. So she's worming it up, kind of like a wave as it goes, yeah? The push-up is basically a moving plank. So think about the midline being in a plank position, tight, tight. Give me 5 good ones. She's gonna stay isometrically in the same position without breaking that midline. There's no movement. The only movement happens in pushing up and down from the ground. Good job. Alright guys, we covered the most basic parts of the push-up. The last thing we need to cover now is your grip width. How wide should you place your hands in the ground when doing the push-up? There are 2 different options. There's obviously the wide grip and the narrow grip. What we prescribe or what we advise is to always do the narrow grip. For one reason only, the functionality of having a narrow grip push-up, spreading out the work into more muscle groups, the triceps, the lats, the chest, instead of being out here where you put your shoulder in a very vulnerable position. It's very transferable to the bench press, where we also advise people to keep your elbows in, protect your shoulders. So seen in practice, guys, Dora's gonna show it now. She's gonna start with the wide grip, and after that we're gonna cut into the narrow grip push-up. Dora's hands are outside her shoulders. If you give me 5 reps. Full range of motion, chest is in the ground, elbows are extended at top, everything looks good. And now she's gonna go into a narrow grip push-up. So she moves the grip a tiny bit closer. As she goes down now, she will feel that her elbows are touching her rib cage as she moves down. Give me 5 reps. All the way down. You can see now the elbows are close to the body. Much better position for the shoulder and much more activation of your triceps, and you will even get some lat engagement in this movement. If you are used to doing your wide grip push-ups, changing it to narrow grip will be harder in the beginning, but I guarantee you once you've tried it and practiced it for some time, it will be a better movement moving down the line.
So what if you can't do a push-up? What other options do we have?
Show us 5 push-ups on the knees. Basically the movement is exactly the same. The only difference is her knees are on the ground. She's going to engage her midline and from this position fall forward. So she's going to fall forward, touch the ground with her chest, push herself up again. That was 1 out of 5. Give me 5 more. Sorry, 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And as you see, guys, going through these repetitions, her midline, the angle in her hips did not change. Alright guys, we're going to show you now 2 faults that we see when people try to scale their push-ups on the knees. The first one, which we call the woodpecker. She's going to get into that same position, and instead of actually doing that forward lean, she's just going to dive straight down with her head. So there we go. Clip number 2, same as before. She's just going to lose her midline. So this is just the worm on the knees. Same thing, loss of midline. There's no midline engagement in this clip. So how do you actually move from doing your push-ups on your knees to on your feet? Well, we got a few different options. One involves a band. The second one involves
box or a bench.
Let's go through them. All right, so option number 1 involves a band. You can choose different types of bands, but the only 2 I would really suggest is either the black band or the red band. We're gonna use the red band for today's tutorial. Basically what you'll do, you'll loop the band twice, so it looks like this. You're gonna put it around your elbows and keep it at your elbows. Don't think that it's gonna become easier by moving it up. It's not. You have to keep it around your elbow joint. And now Dora's gonna do her push-up just like we demonstrated. Same thing. She's gonna squeeze her midline. Make sure she falls forward, chest in the ground. And as she gets low now, go ahead and do 5 reps. The band is gonna push against her chest, and in that bottom position, help her up. We're just gonna go through different ways that we can scale the push-up using a box. And it can be done either on your toes or on your knees. So Dora's gonna start with the high side on her toes, basically putting her hands, making sure that her elbows are tracking nice and close to her body as she goes down on, touching the box with the chest and coming up. Remember, full range of motion is always important. If she wants to increase the difficulty, she will flip the box down, put more weight into her arms, chest in the box, full extension at top. Now when it comes to the push-up, the only thing that matters is consistency. You gotta find the version that suits you, the version that can make you do 5, 6, 7, 8 reps in a row with a band, without a band, with the box, without a box. It doesn't matter. It's consistency that makes you better. Practice, practice, practice. Do it in all the workouts that you're doing, and in the end of the day, you will see a couple of months down the line, you'll be doing normal, perfect looking push-ups. Alright guys, so you got your push-ups covered. Now the funny part is, let's make a workout. So, I'm gonna call this workout EMOM 10. It means every minute on the minute for 10 minutes, you gotta do a specific thing. In this case, what we're gonna do is 5 push-ups followed by a run. So every minute on the minute, you're gonna do 5 push-ups. You're gonna sprint down to a specific point and come back. The time you have remaining until the next minute is your rest. 10 rounds. Let's go. Minutes later, a good workout in. You can mix the reps as you want. The most important part is that you get sweaty and you get fit. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys another day. Boom!